Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Happy Valentine's Day. You are at the Books and Badges Storytime event, a special read aloud on Valentine's Day. And today we're going to celebrate kindness with our stories today. My name is Julie Menk, and I work with Wayzata Public Schools in the Community Education Department. And part of my job is to work with volunteers. And volunteers are people who help others and help people. So the volunteers that I get to work with love reading and love to help kids learn how to read and learn how to love to read and to celebrate reading. And some of our awesome volunteers are actually Plymouth police officers and firefighters and others who work with police officers and firefighters. So today we're super excited to have our Plymouth police officers and firefighters with us to share some books on Valentine's Day themes and kindness and to tell us more about what it's like to do the jobs that they do. So I'll pass it over to Officer Aaron Marsh and we'll get started.
All right. Thank you for that intro, and we really appreciate that. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we hope everybody had a great day if they were in school today or maybe out of school or maybe at home. I always think of candy on Valentine's Day, and I know kindness and being, respectful and love and all those great things is part of Valentine's Day, but I love the candy for sure. I see we're going to get some questions later, and one of them is, what's your favorite candy? So I have one, and then I bet my partners here have their favorites too. So anyways, we have some great books picked out for you guys, and they're Valentine's themed essentially. So I'm going to get started with my book, and then I'm going to turn things over to one of the firefighters, and he'll introduce himself, and then back to another police officer, and then she'll introduce herself. But yeah, my name is Officer Aaron Marsh, and I've been a police officer for 20 years, and I love my job, and I love the kindness part of my job, and I love helping people out. And this book that I've got picked out is a good reminder of being a good helper and being a good citizen to other people. So it's called Have You Filled a Bucket Today? A Guide to Daily Happiness for Kids. And it's by Carol McLeod and illustrated by David Messing. All right, are you ready? I'll try to line this up so you guys can see. Sometimes it might be here, up here, but I'll do my best here. All right. All day long, everyone in the whole wide world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. You can't see it, but it's there. You have a bucket. Each member of your family has a bucket. Your grandparents, friends, and neighbors all have buckets. Everyone carries an invisible bucket. Your bucket has one purpose only. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and your good feelings about yourself. You feel happy and good when your bucket is full. And you feel sad and lonely when your bucket is empty. Other people feel the same way too. They're happy when their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket, and this is how it works. Other people can fill your bucket, and you can fill theirs. You can fill your own bucket too. So how do you fill a bucket? You fill a bucket when you show love to someone, when you say or do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's being a bucket filler. A bucket filler is a loving, caring person who says and does nice things to make others feel special. When you treat others with kindness and respect, you fill their bucket. But you can also dip into a bucket and take out some good feelings. You dip into a bucket when you make fun of someone, when you say or do mean things, or even when you ignore someone. That's bucket dipping. Bullying is bucket dipping. When you hurt others, you dip into their bucket. You will dip into your own bucket too. Many people who dip have an empty bucket. They may think they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's, but that will never work. You never fill your own bucket when you dip into someone else's. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. You feel good when you help others feel good. All day long, we are either filling up or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your mom and dad. Why not tell them you love them? You can even tell them why. Your caring words will fill their buckets with joy. Watch for smiles to light up their faces. You will feel like smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you have filled a bucket. If you practice, you'll become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say or do to fill it. Here are some ideas for you. You could smile and say hi to the bus driver. He has a bucket too. You could invite the new kid at school to play with you. You could write a thank you note to your teacher. You could tell your grandpa that you like spending time with him. There are many ways to fill a bucket. Bucket filling is fun and easy to do. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone else's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. When you're a bucket filler, you make your home, your school, and your neighborhood better places for all. Bucket filling makes everyone feel good. So why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day? Just start each day by saying to yourself, I'm gonna do something to fill someone's bucket today. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did I fill a bucket today? Yes, I did. That's the life of a bucket filler. And that's you. You guys think? That's a good book. Yeah. Oh, my partners are giving me a round of applause. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. We have another good book for you here. I'm gonna pass it to firefighter Steve, and he will introduce himself and read you his book. Thanks for letting me.
Thank you, Officer Aaron. And I'm excited to read you today. I'm firefighter Steve. I've been on the fire department for 17 years, and now I'm fire prevention specialist. I'm the one that comes out to school and talks about fire safety and how not to play with matches and things like that. So I have a great book here. It's called ABCs of Kindness. And it says, discover all the ways you can be kind to one another from A to Z using the alphabet. So you can see there'll be some characters in this book, an elephant, a lion, there'll be a giraffe in there, teddy bear, things like that. So you'll see these characters. So every letter is going to stand for a different word that has to do with kindness. So we'll start with the letter A. There we go. A is for all of us. Be everybody's friend. B is for believing things will be okay in the end. C is for caring in everything you do. D is for dear ones who mean the world to you. E is for everyone. We are all the same. F is for forgiveness. Don't always look for blame. G is for gratitude. Give thanks along the way. H is for hope. Tomorrow's another day. I is for inviting everyone to play. J is for joy when you make somebody's day. K is for kindness. Treat everyone with care. L is for love, a thing we all can share. M is for making time for everyone. N is for nobody missing out on the fun. O is for others, for friends and family. P is for patience. Some things happen gradually. Q is for quiet times, for thinking on your own. R is for remembering, for friends will never be alone. S is for sharing. You'll find it can be fun. T is for trying. Don't give up till you're done. U is understanding and offering a kind word. V is for voices. Let everyone's be heard. W is for worries and keep them at bay. X is for kisses for loved ones every day. Y is for yes, I can. There's nothing you can't do. And Z is for sleeping peacefully when your day of kindness is through. So every letter of the alphabet stood for some part of kindness. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very good book. And now I'll turn it over to Officer Casey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Officer Casey. I've been with the police department for 5 years, and my book is from the Give a Mouse a Cookie franchise. It's called Happy Valentine's Day Mouse by Laura Numeroff and Felicia Bond. Mouse is making Valentines for his friends. He wants each one to be just right. He loves Pig because she is a good dancer. Mouse loves Moose because he's such a good artist. He loves Cat because he is so strong. And Dog because he's always happy to see his friends. He loves Bunny because she's the best at hide and seek. And Fox, even though she's not. Mouse can't wait to give out his Valentines. Who's at the door? Happy Valentine's Day, Mouse. That's my Valentine's book.
Well, those are the books we had for you. Did you guys like them? If you had to rate the best book, which one do you think it would be? We won't take an official vote, but we hope you like them all. All right, so I think you guys have maybe some questions for us. Is that right?
Yeah, we do
Yeah,
have some
okay.
questions for you. Yeah, so some of the kids were wondering, what is your favorite part of your job?
Anybody want to take that one? I'll tell you my favorite part, and it's really kind of the theme that we've been sort of on today, and that is helping people. I think you'll hear that a lot. It's a great job that you can do because you have a lot of opportunities to help people. You know, some of the things we do, we don't always necessarily enjoy, but there's sometimes things that we need to do. But the greatest part about our jobs, I think you probably hear from my partners too, is the opportunities to lend a helping hand, to show somebody kindness, or to really help somebody out in need. You know, we all have times in our lives that we do need help, and we probably need to rely on somebody. And I think we enjoy being that person that gets to do that. You guys have any other thing?
Yeah, I would say exactly the same thing that Officer Aaron said. It's the same thing with firefighters. We're there to help people out. Me personally, I really like driving the big red truck with lights and siren down the street. It's pretty exciting. But then we're always going to an emergency too, where somebody needs help. And we always assist the police officers too in helping someone that needs help. So that's my favorite.
Well, thank you.
All right.
So, Steve, to go along with what you just said, one of the kids was asking, is it scary to drive fast with your lights and sirens on?
It's not really scary, but you have to be very careful and observe the speed limit and watch all the other cars on the street to make sure that they see you. We have a lot of lights and a lot of sirens. We can make a lot of noise, and so can the police officers. We have to be really careful with other vehicles to make sure we don't cause an accident. So it doesn't do us any good to get to the scene if we're in an accident. We have to stay very safe. We all have to wear our seatbelts before we even move the truck. So it's not scary, but you have to be very cautious.
I bet. Thank you. Okay. Does the police department have any canine officers?
I don't know if you guys can see it, this picture up here. Here's one of Officer Ben Duncan and his canine Rico. And we also have two other canines with Officer Coupet and his dog Rain, which is a black German Shepherd, and Officer Quincy Grabo and his dog Romeo, who looks kind of more like Officer Ben's dog here. So yes, we have 3 canines. We're very lucky.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. This one is kind of serious. One of the kids is asking, have you ever saved someone's life?
Kids have any stories? Yeah. So one of the responsibilities we have as firefighters and police officers is we respond to medicals. So does everybody know the number to call if you have an emergency? 911. Yep. And maybe you know your address. Hopefully you know your address. If you don't, the dispatcher is able to, the person who you're calling is usually able to find it, but it really helps by knowing your address. So it might be a good conversation to have with your parents. But anyways, one of the things that we do is we respond to medicals when somebody is maybe having trouble breathing, or maybe having a heart attack, like chest pains, or maybe they fell and hurt themselves. And we have a lot of opportunities, because unfortunately, these things happen quite often, to respond to these calls and help people out. So, without, I guess, giving specific stories, I think all of us, just with our time, have had plenty of opportunities to help people and to do life-saving measures to assist people. So what's really cool sometimes is when we get to follow up after calls, after we help them and they go to the hospital and they're eventually cleared from the hospital and then they get to come back home. Some of the really cool things that we sometimes get to do is then go see them and a lot of times give hugs and just sort of connect on a much better level at that point. So anyways, I think we all have experiences of helping people and ultimately being able to do things that have saved people's lives. So yeah, that is a serious question. That's a great question. Thank you.
Yeah. We had another question come in about the canine officers. How long does it take to train a canine officer?
That's a good question. I don't know exactly because I'm not a canine officer myself, but how it works is they get a dog that already has some training. So they don't get a puppy, they get a dog usually that's a couple years old. And then they have to go to special training that usually takes a few months so that they can learn the commands and all the things that the dog needs to know to help us. And when they're finished, they have to graduate, kind of like graduating from high school or regular school. They have to graduate from their school too in order to be, it's called being certified to be a police officer dog that's able to be used with us. So they have a lot of training they have to do, and they always go to training again. So they don't go one time and they're done. They keep going over time and they keep training so that they keep learning and getting smarter.
Awesome. So they go to school too.
Yes, the dogs go to school too.
Very cool. Okay, one more question before we announce the winner for the drawing. And Aaron, did you answer this one in the beginning? You were talking about candy. The question is, what is your favorite candy? It's super important question.
Yeah, it's super important. It's probably the most important question we've had all day, right? Yeah. So we're going to each give our favorite candy. Mine, I didn't say it, is cherry licorice. I could have it for every meal.
Surprised.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, cherry licorice isn't a common one.
Oh yeah, it's I do enjoy black licorice, but cherry is my favorite. Yeah. How about you guys?
I love a lot of candy, so it's hard to pick one. I love chocolate, so maybe like peanut M&Ms are really good. Or I feel like you have to give a chocolate one, and then you have to give a non-chocolate one. So then maybe like Sour Patch Kids or something. Those are really good too. Steve?
So even though I promote eating good food and kids should too, we do have our vices, and so mine would be Snickers. Like a Snickers Blizzards are really good. So I like Snicker bars would be my favorite.
What's your favorite healthy snack? Firefighter Steve?
Bananas, probably a banana, yeah. Some kind of fruit or vegetable. Yeah.
Very nice. Yummy. All right. So super exciting. When our family signed up to join us today, they were entered into a drawing to win either a personal family tour of the Plymouth Police Station or to ride to school on a fire truck. Can you imagine riding to school on a fire truck, a real fire truck with a real firefighter, probably? Yeah. Just guessing, but sounds. So sounds pretty awesome. So all of this is, of course, dependent on COVID. So Megan in the early learning school office drew a name of a winning family today, and it's the Shu family. Yay! So congratulations. You will get to choose your prize, and we'll be in touch with you to redeem the prize. So thank you everybody for signing up and for joining us today, for being here and for reading with us. And we hope you continue to read books that you love. And I'll let the officers sign us off today.
All right. Well, do you guys want to say anything before we go?
go ahead and close it out.
Okay, well, we just really appreciate this once again, and we love being able to come on and do these things and being able to spend a little time. I know it's Zoom, but spend a little bit of time through this format with you guys. And thanks for having us. We just really appreciate that. So give us a wave when you see the police car and the fire trucks out there. We love when we see kids waving. That really makes our day. So